If you're watching this, you're probably in the market for a Windsim, want to increase immersion whilst racing, want to build an epic fully loaded sim rig, or just want to have a nice fresh breeze of air directed at your body whilst going around track. Well, if this describes you, you're in luck because the guys at Redion made a product that checks all of these boxes. Let's get into it. The debate whether a Windsim really adds to the immersion or not has been going on for a long time, and the question you might ask me is, well, is it? In this video I'm going to go over all the specifications of the Redion Windsim, I'm going to go and show you the full installation guide on Simhub, I'm also going to show you the product itself obviously, and I'm going to give you my final verdict which might help you with your decision making process. If you want to skip sections, you can do so by clicking on the timestamps in the description below. Before we start, I do want to say that this video is sponsored by Redion, however, I can share my honest opinion and I'm not limited to what I can or can't say about the product. Small side note though, I bought the Windsim before the guys at Redion reached out to me to make a video about it. There are two versions of the Windsim, one is for PC and one is for console. The biggest difference between the two is the software on which it runs. So the PC version will run via Simhub to be in perfect sync with your racing on the PC. So that means when you're increasing in speed, the Simhub software will push this through to the Windsim and increase the speed of the fans. Same goes for when you're decreasing speed, the Windsim will also notice this and will decrease the speed. For console, however, you have a dial, so you have to manually make the speed go up, or the fans of course, go up in speed or decrease in speed. This means that for the console version you can also use this on the PC, but you can't use a PC version on the console because this software is just not there on the console. So even if the guys at Redion tried to create this, it's not going to be possible because the PlayStation or the Xbox doesn't allow this. Next we have plug and play, so the Windsim works with all the racing sim titles that are available in the Simhub software, which you can see on the splash screen. So once the Windsim has been set up in Simhub, it's just a matter of opening the game and the Windsim will work automatically with the game you've selected. If you want to be sure the Windsim works with your racing title, just respond in the comments below and I will get back to you. Since I'm reviewing the PC version of the Windsim, I need to connect this via Simhub, which is completely free and easy to set up. In the box you will also find an installation guide, but if you want to follow along with the video, just keep on watching and I will explain to you in full detail on how to install your Windsim to the Simhub software. The Windsim works via an Arduino Uno microcontroller board on which all the cables are connected, like the fans, the USB and the power cables. The board is fitted in a Redion branded custom designed enclosure for optimal ventilation and also to keep it safe and easy to install on your rig. There are two 76mm or 3-inch hoses which can be extended to 100cm or 3.2 feet. The end caps are available in 4 colors: black, red, blue and grey. And there's going to be a 5th one coming out as a special edition real soon, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for all the updates. Universal clips are used for an easy installation to any sim rig or desk setup. If you're going to install the Windsim to a 2080 rig like I did and need to use M8 bolts, you do need to drill the holes a little bit bigger to make sure they fit, but it's an easy thing to do and it takes like 2 minutes to do all 4 of the clips. The two 4000 RPM fans have the possibility to quite literally blow you away. To keep a permanent airflow, Redion has designed their own wind turbine, which in combination with the attachment eliminates 99% of all vibrations. The Windsim is connected via a USB cable which is 1.8 meters long or around 6 feet. Each fan also has their 1.8 meters long cable which is connected to the Arduino board. You can't remove this because it's all soldered to the board. And lastly, of course, this device needs to be plugged into a socket, and you've guessed it, the cable is again 1.8 meters long. So you do need to make sure if you're outside of the EU that you buy an adapter, because in the UK and the US and of course Australia this won't work unless you buy an adapter with your order. One of the most important questions in your decision making process is how much do I need to pay to get this upgrade? Well, the PC version retails at €249 or $249, and for UK that's £215. That's excluding the adapters which you of course need if you're outside of the EU, which I honestly think is a good deal for the product you get. The console version, also excluding adapters, retails at €219 or $219, or for the UK it's going to be £190. Before I bought my Redion Windsim I was actually looking into building one myself. But with all the 3D parts you need to get printed, all the components you need, the price really adds up. And after all the hours I would have put in, I would never have reached the level of the guys from Redion. So me personally, I was better off at buying at Redion because those guys at least know what they're doing. And they also give a 2-year warranty, which is of course always very nice. So here you're thinking, I would like to buy this product, but it would be so nice if I could get a little discount. Well, then I've got good news for you. When you use the code RKMKAS or RKMCAS, you can get a 5% discount upon checkout. So make sure you use this code because it also helps the channel to make more and more videos like this for you in the future. So that's it for the specifications. Let's now start installing the Windsim to Simhub. If you want to see the product installed on the sim rig, just skip ahead by using the timestamp in the description below. Let's get started on installing the Redion Windsim to Simhub. There is a paper manual included in the box, but if you prefer following me step by step, you can use this video as a tool to help you out. The first thing you will need is to download Simhub. This software is completely free. You can buy a license if you want to support the developers, which I did, but you can also do this at a later stage. After the installation is done, just restart your computer, connect your Wind Simulator to your PC and launch Simhub. You'll now see the landing page of Simhub. In the left column, click on Arduino. On the right, click on My Hardware. In my case, you can already see a few Arduino boards that are connected, one of which is the Windsim. But I will pretend these boards are not there and that I started from scratch. Choose Multiple Arduino. Click on Open Arduino Setup Tool. In the new window that has just opened on the right, choose Arduino Uno. On the left, in device name, indicate the name of your new wind simulator. For example, Redion Wind Simulator. Then in the left column, search for Shake-It Adafruit Motor Shield V2. Click on the plus to add the number 1. Below this value you need to enter the frequency. This depends on your power supply, your processor, your RAM, the USB port used, if you want the system to be silent or not, the distance of the nozzle used, and so on. These are all parameters that can vary for each individual setup. So start with a frequency of 1600 and test this in-game after you did the full install. If you notice cuts, for example above a certain speed, it means that you have to decrease your frequency. Just go back to the previous step, open Arduino Setup Tool, and choose Reload My Last Settings. Generally, this frequency is between 800 and 1600. I tried setting mine at 1600 at first, but had to decrease it to 1200 for it to work properly with my system. Should there be any issue with your frequency, just let me know in the remarks and I'll get back to you ASAP. At the top right, select the COM port of your Arduino. In my case, I have multiple Arduinos already connected, so I can already see 3 COM ports. In your case, this should only be 1. Make sure you unplug all the other Arduino boards which you have already installed to make sure you're not overriding any of those. Check the I understand, etc. field and press upload to Arduino. Wait a few seconds, depending on how fast your system is, and when the upload is complete, unplug the Windsim from your PC and plug it back in. Close the sketch setup window. Now you should see that your wind simulator is successfully connected. So now we're about halfway, still a few settings which we need to do before we can start enjoying the Windsim. On the left, click on Settings and then Plugins. Check that you have the Shake-It motors activated. Then the left column, click on the Shake-It motors. Find Speed, activate it and put it at 100%. In effect low force kilometers an hour, indicate 20. You can put the number to whatever you want. This number indicates from which speed in game the fans will start. In effect high force max speed in percentage, put in value 100%. Now at the top click on motors output. Go down on speed and enable channel 1 and channel 2. Then go back to effects profile and click on test several times to test the correct configuration of your wind simulator. You should hear the fan spin and feel the wind coming out of it. The configuration of your wind simulator is now complete. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact the guys at Redion or leave a comment. Their customer support is amazing, they even help via TeamViewer if you can't get the device set up correctly. So here you can see how beautiful the Windsim looks on my rig. Installation was pretty easy. As I explained before, the only thing that I needed to do was drill slightly bigger holes in all of the fitting clips to allow my M8 bolts to fit. To make the installation easier, I actually removed the clips from the Windsim and bolted these to the rig first. It doesn't come with screws or T-nuts or anything, because of course it can be installed on every rig and is not only designed for a certain kind of rig. After I installed the clips, I just used a Phillips screwdriver to fix the bits back onto the clips. For the fans, I was thinking of bolting these to the side of the rig, but I actually like the way it looks now. The way you install the Windsim is of course completely up to you. I've positioned them a bit lower because I can't fit them between my screens and the wheel, and angled them upwards and a bit to the inside. For me this is perfect because the majority of the wind hits me around the chest area and still a bit in my face to get the optimal experience. Every time I walk towards my sim rig, I'm just amazed by how good this piece of hardware looks on it. The red finish of the Windsim fits perfectly with the red bits of my track racer rig and dash. Enough talking, let's show you how it works. So here we are in the rig at Spa. I've added bits of paper to the Windsim to give you a better understanding on how it works. At the moment the engine is off, so there's no wind coming from the fans. So let's start up our Audi R8 and take it for a spin around arguably the most beautiful circuit in the world. God, I love that sound. When we start revving, you will notice that there's still no wind coming from the Windsim, which is logical of course, because we're not increasing our speed in any way. So let's get going and you will see once I pass the minimum speed, which was set in Simhub, the wind starts blowing towards me. And now just gently cruising and you will see that the wind blows at around the same speed. When I pick up speed though, you will immediately see that the wind starts picking up too. When I slow down in the next corner, you can see that the wind is decreasing drastically too. When coming out of the corner, I'm pushing my foot down again and giving it everything, so you can see that the car as well as the Windsim starts increasing in speed rapidly, which really gives you that extra piece of motivation to push your car to the limit. We are now going towards our top speed, which will be registered by Simhub, so that the software knows at what speed it needs to give us 100% of the Windsim's performance. There's no need to adjust anything, it will go automatically. Now the way it feels is hard to describe. It's like when watching a video from someone playing in VR or hearing about someone's VR experience. It sounds cool, but once you play in VR yourself, it's just exceeding those expectations. Whilst being on the subject of VR, I unfortunately don't have a VR headset yet. But I can only imagine that the Windsim in combination with VR on a game like F1 is just going to be epic. Now you're probably also wondering how loud is this Windsim. Well, it's quite fine actually. Of course you can hear the fan spinning, but that's part of it, because how could you generate wind without fan spinning? So now we'll switch over to the audio from the Windsim, so you will have a general idea of how it sounds in a room. So I hope this gave a good impression on how the Windsim operates and also on how the Windsim sounds in a room. For me the noise levels are perfect. It's not waking up anybody in the house, so I can just relax and use my Windsim while other people in the house are sleeping. Now to finish this video, let's go to my final verdict. So the question in your mind is going to be, is it worth investing in a Windsim? Can I justify you guys spending nearly 250 euros for this piece of hardware? Well, the answer depends on what level you're currently at with your rig and what level you want to work towards with your rig. Of course, it's important to first invest in a proper rig and wheel, because of course that's the main thing you need to use while racing. And it's also the most logical thing to do. But since I've jumped over to the PC a few months ago, I want to take my experience and the level of immersion to the next level. I do truly feel that the Windsim from Redion offers that nice piece of additional feedback, because if you're looking at a screen, it's static. But when you feel the wind blowing and it's increasing and decreasing, you get that little extra sense of immersion, that you're really going fast or slowing down. An added bonus is also that during the summer nights you get a nice fresh breeze of air directed at your body, which can be a little bit of a cooling effect, which is awesome when you have to do long stints of 2 hours or more. So I hope this video was helpful and has made your decision making process a little bit easier. When you do decide to order the Windsim, make sure you use the RKM cash code for that 5% additional discount and also to support the channel. Well, that was my first review on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope to see you in the next videos. Have a good one.